We're about to embark on solo date number 3. These past 2 weeks were solo date number 1 and solo date number 2. And with each of those, there was a very distinct idea that we wanted to accomplish in each of those. Like we had a goal in mind and we set out to do said goal. Today's is a little bit different because I was listening to a podcast recently where these people were talking about very specific to my scenario. They were talking about when you're new to New York City, what are things that one could go out and do? Like what are activities that you can do in the city, especially given this time of the year where it's starting to get a little bit more warm out there in the environment. One of the ideas that the host suggested is, there's like so many different attractions and things to check out, but he was like, one of the great things about the city is that you can literally just go out there, walk around, and that can be the activity. So he was like, just choose a place you haven't been within the city, arrive, and just spend the day walking around and see where that takes you. And so my friends, today, that is exactly what we're going to be doing here. This is like a no agenda type of solo date activity. Solo date activity 3 is I'm just going to take the train into the city, and then we're just going to kind of arrive in a spot and just walk around and just see what is out there for us to look at today.
Kevinisomoto says welcome to the vlog.
So first I took the train. This year is crossing over the Manhattan Bridge. Out in the distance there, that is the Brooklyn Bridge, and this is crossing over into Manhattan, looking south towards like the southern part of New York City. So this is the first stop, Union Square Park. They had like a market going on there, and to be honest with you, this is like kind of the same old thing that we saw last week, just in a different location, but same sort of thing, like lots of plants, food, stuff you would see at like a farmer's market or like a swap meet sort of a thing.
I ain't had nothing to do with that, but how they gonna use your shit?
How can I tell her I love her? Yes, I would give my heart gladly.
We are now over here at Washington Square Park. I didn't mention this yet, but I have a friend of a friend. Yeah, I don't know this person, but a friend of a friend is moving to New York City. I don't know anything about this person besides that they grew up in the Bay Area and then lived in LA for several years and is now moving out to New York City. And I got put into contact with them because of like, similar circumstances or whatever. And we've been texting. And this weekend, this person is moving to the city. And at some point, we're gonna meet up. So I'm like very, very excited about this because like, based on the text alone, it seems like we're getting along well. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really hoping that like, this kind of like blossoms into a new friendship. But I don't want to put too much pressure on the whole thing, so, I just wanted to kind of introduce the subject matter here on the video.
Are they still like 10 milligrams or what?
I think they're 10 milligrams.
Okay, yeah.
I think when you have a mutual friend with someone, just that alone of having that familiarity of like, you both know the same people, or you know the same person anyway, it's a very comforting feeling, and I'm hoping that everything works out with this new person who's gonna be in town. Or they're moving here, so they're gonna be like a permanent resident here soon. And then as I'm like in this area, there's like a parade going on, and I genuinely had no idea what was going down. It turns out this thing was called the annual New York City Sikh Day Parade 2022. I just had like a 10-minute conversation with a guy in the park, and he is just recently graduated from high school, like during the middle of the pandemic, and now he is here trying to pursue acting. He's like a young kid, he's 19 years old. I was telling him how I work in post-production, how we do like very similar stuff, or we work in the same type of realm. But it was just kind of nice having just a random park conversation with just a random dude. So, you know, I was like, I'm down to check out a parade, so I walked around. They had like lots and lots of free food going on here in this situation. Thank you. This whole parade thing was completely unexpected. I did not know that this was going down. I was just kind of like walking along and then stumbled into this parade, basically. You know what this is called? Yeah. What is it?
Sorry?
Do you know what this is called?
It's curry.
Oh. It's pretty good. So that was pretty much everything that happened for Solo Date 3rd edition. Just kind of went on a nice little walking tour of this triangle of area here. This has been week number 605. Thanks for watching all the way to the end here. Next week is week number 606.